This problem says a quadrilateral has two angles that measure 100 degrees and 90 degrees. But the other two angles have a ratio of 4 to 13. I know it says 4 colon 13, but what that means is 4 over 13, or we could use the words 4 to 13. In math, there is usually, almost always, more than one way to express something, okay? And by the way, since we don't know what those angles are, we could also say 4 times x over 13 times x. We could use any letter. You don't have to use x, but that's the one we use most often. So we're going to do that, and we're going to draw this also. Drawing a picture makes it much easier. And our picture doesn't have to be perfect either. So I'm going to sketch it, and just give me a minute, and then I want you to make something like that on your paper. You have paper ready? If you don't, go ahead and get it, and in a second you can draw. So we'll draw an angle of, let's say, approximately 100 degrees. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's not too close. Approximately 100 degrees. Still not much better. Approximately 90 degrees. And then the other two we don't know, but we'll do one like that. That's not good. One like that and one like that. Okay. Oh, it auto-corrected for me, sorry. Maybe if I did it again, it won't auto-correct. It wants to do its own thing. We'll just have to let it be like that, okay? Those are supposed to be straight lines. So can you make something that looks something like this on your paper? Yeah, you know how you have an autocorrect on your phone? It does the same thing when you draw. It thinks it knows what I want. It doesn't. I want it. I want it the way I drew it. So we'll say this is 100 degrees. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but and we'll say this one is 90 degrees. It's probably bigger than that, but all right. The drawing, I should say, is probably bigger. Oh, I made a mistake. I see. I'm sorry. I have too many sides there. I should have 4 sides. Sorry. Let me fix that. Um, there's 100. There's 90. And there we go. Had too many sides. So once again, sorry about that. 100 degrees, 90 degrees. I'll make this bigger. Okay, and, 100 degrees here, 90 degrees here. And these other two, we don't know, but we know that one will be 4x and the other will be 13x. Because the ratio of that is 4 to 13. The ratio of those red angles. That makes sense, you think? Now, I have a question. Can you tell me, it's okay if you don't know, just either say, yeah, I know, or no, I don't know. What do all 4 angles here have to add up? This is not a triangle, because if it was a triangle, they would add up to 180 degrees. But it's got 4 sides, so how many degrees will all these add up to? Perfect. Yes, 360 is right. And let's write down what you just said. That these are going to add up to 360 degrees. So I'm going to add up my 100-degree angle. Keeps auto-correcting like that. Plus my 90-degree angle. Plus the 4x. I'm going to do the 4 in black and the x in red. And plus the 13x. And all of those, like you said, add up to 360 degrees. And by the way, I'm going to explain why they add up to 360 before we go any further. You remember that when we had a triangle, they added up to 180. But when you have a shape like this, and I want to remind you what this word, this prefix quad, doesn't quad mean 4? Yeah, this is a 4-sided figure. That's what that, and by the way, lateral means side. If you like football, you know that a lateral pass is a pass thrown out to the side. So quadrilateral means 4 sides. This is a picture, a shape with 4 sides. Doesn't have to be a square, doesn't have to be a rectangle, it does have 4 sides. But anyway, the reason that this adds up to 360 is because really, no matter how you break this down, we could split it up into 2 triangles, couldn't we? That's not perfect, but right. And we know that a triangle, this triangle is 180 degrees, and this triangle is 180 degrees. And if you add up 180 and another 180, you're going to get 360. We could have broken it up differently. We could have broken it up this way, right? And we'd still have 180 degrees here and 180 degrees there. That's why something with 4 sides, which can be broken down into 2 triangles, adds up to 360. I'm going to say that another way. Just about anything in math can be broken down into something simpler. Okay, something with four sides like this could be broken down into two things that two triangles, two shapes that both have three sides. That's the reason. You don't have to write all that. You don't have to say all that. You just have to know that it adds up to 360. And you already knew that. All right, I'm going to slow down just a bit. If you had a chance to write that, tell me you're ready or not. All set? Okay, good. Yes, right. Because now we have a problem that's easier. We can combine these like terms that are like because they both have degrees. We can combine these, they both have x's. And I'm thinking if we add up 100 degrees and 90 degrees, we're gonna get 190 degrees. 190 degrees. And if we add up 4x and 13x, we're gonna get 17x. Let's go back to red. And that's 360. Now, we or they have added, I should say I have or they have added 190 degrees, right? 17 plus 190. It's the same as 190 plus 17x. So we need to subtract. Whoa, 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 whoa. Go back. What happened there? Subtract. Hope you didn't see everybody's grade there. We need to subtract 190 from both, 190 degrees from both sides. Okay. And that's going to make our problem way easier. Let me just zoom out a second here. So what is 360 minus 190? Okay, so those cancel, you're right, and we have 17x is equal to 170 degrees. And what are we going to divide by? Yep, they multiplied, you're right, by 17, so we're going to divide by 17. And then what? Darn it, I'm sorry. Why does it my fat fingers keep getting in the wrong button here. So what is 170 degrees divided by 17? X equals 10. Now, let me just say that that's right, but it's not finished. X is equal to 10, but they didn't ask us for X. We needed to answer the question. What we need to do is when we see X, we need to write 10 degrees. Does that make sense? So look, I'm going to zoom in here. There I see an X in red. And so I'm going to change that from 4 times X to 4 times, was it 10 degrees? Yeah, it was 10, yeah. Change that to 4 times 10, if I can get it to erase here. 4 times 10 degrees, right? Won't that be 40 degrees? Likewise, over here, I'm going to replace, whoa, 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 not that, not that. I'm going to replace this x with a 10 degree also, with 10 degrees also. Let me erase that x and replace it with 10 degrees. What's 13 times 10 degrees? 130 degrees. Right. So those are the two angles. And by the way, I'm not sure if it'll mark you wrong or not, but put them in the same order that they put them in. If they said 4 to 13, which do you want to put first? The 40 or the 130, do you think? Yeah, let's put the 40. I don't know if they'll mark it wrong, but they may. So let's put them in the right order. 40 degrees and 130 degrees. Let me stop that.